How to learn Muay Thai at home step by step. Step 1. Set clear goals. If you want to be a professional fighter, then you really will have to join a gym and seek instruction from qualified teachers and trainers. But if you want to train Muay Thai at home to improve your fitness, learn some new skills, improve your confidence, and also for self-defense purposes, then Muay Thai is one of the most suitable martial arts to learn from home. Just understand that if your goal is to be a professional fighter, then you can start off learning at home, but eventually you will need to join a gym and learn from trainers and crews who are well qualified to teach you. Step number 2, make a weekly training plan and stick with it. This is very important if you want to progress with your Muay Thai training at home. If you don't set aside time and plan this into your week each and every week, it's probably not going to happen, or it's very much less likely that you will continue to make progress in your Muay Thai training at home. I would suggest beginning with just 2 sessions per week to start off with. This way you only have to block out about 2 hours per week to get started. If you can commit to 2 hours per week for 1 month, then you're well on your way to sticking with this in the long run. Martial arts is a long journey, and being consistent and building and maintaining some kind of momentum and progress, no matter how small, will pay off in the long run. This is especially so if you're training Muay Thai at home by yourself. Here is an example of a 1-month weekly training schedule that is progressive, beginning with week 1, 2 sessions of 30 minutes, and ending up in week 4 after 1 month with 4 sessions of 30 minutes. It may seem quite basic and simple, but if you are able to stick to this kind of schedule consistently, you will make good progress over time. Also, be sure to include time within your weekly schedule for warm-up, cool-down, and also some mobility work, especially for your hips, which are important in Muay Thai. Step number 3, set up your training space or training area. This could be outside, in a spare room, in your garage. All you need is a little bit of space to move around and practice your techniques. Ideally, you would also want to be able to hang up a heavy bag so that you can also practice on that. At the end of the day, what matters is you have a little bit of space to be able to keep practicing your Muay Thai each and every session, week upon week, consistently, to keep on improving. Maybe you need to wake up early in the morning to practice in your living room before the kids get up, or you could also practice outside in the garden, depending on how the weather is. There is also the option to practice outside in public areas, in the park, at the beach, or just in a multi-purpose court area. Either way, it's important that you do have some space to be able to practice your Muay Thai, and this is a very important step to beginning to be able to learn and train Muay Thai at home. Step number 4, it is highly advisable that you get some equipment. You could buy some, you can make your own, or you could even borrow some. When it comes to equipment for Muay Thai training at home, I would say the most basic things you would need are a skipping rope, a heavy bag, and hand protection, which includes hand wraps and gloves. When I first started, I made my own heavy bag using an old flour sack filled with sand, and I made some hand wraps using some old clothes and rags that I just cut into long lengths and wrapped around my hands. When I was in university and didn't have a lot of money, I used some old extension cords as a skipping rope, which worked quite well also. You can definitely get started learning Muay Thai at home with no equipment, but it is advisable that you get some equipment such as the basic ones mentioned as you progress and keep on learning and improving. Step number 5, track your rounds using a timer. Have goals for the number of rounds you want to complete each week and try to increase the number of rounds you do until you hit your goals for the number of rounds to complete. Tracking the length of your rounds also is important, and this shouldn't be a problem as most people can do this on their mobile devices these days. Try to set rounds at 3 minutes with 1.5 to 2 minutes rest to start off with and build from there. Also include rounds for your strength and conditioning. This can be at the end of your workouts, where you include core and ab work in addition to your normal rounds, working on particular techniques for a set number of rounds. Step number 6 would be to keep a training journal or diary where you log each of your workouts. Note how you felt at the end of each workout, whether you hit your goals, and what else you need to work on. I would also highly recommend videoing yourself training and working out. This way you can look back and review how your technique has improved, how your fitness has improved, and how your overall Muay Thai has improved over the number of workouts and weeks in which you put in the work. This should be pretty easy to do with a mobile device. Just set it up somewhere and record yourself, and over time you will see how greatly you have improved by putting in the work. Step number 7 would be to follow a Muay Thai program or make your own. You can access a lot of programs these days online through your mobile devices or laptops and use these to follow along with your at-home Muay Thai training. Or you can make your own programs using free resources such as YouTube. On my website Fiji Muay Thai, I have a review of 5 of the online programs that I like to use. These are paid programs, and if you check the link in this video, you can access my number 1 recommendation, which is the Heavy Bag Blueprint by Sean Fagan, a professional fighter who currently fights in Thailand. Using this link you get 50% off, and this is a highly recommended program. But then again, you can always access free resources on YouTube and other places and put together your own Muay Thai training program. I also have a free 6-part video series that you can access on my website fijimuaythai.com.